Cuba, it's me! Welcome to episode 113 of the W.I.L.L.I.W show, which stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. And today, I'm going to review the Great Balls of Fire. Because, hey, I had some time. I actually was able to watch it last night and actually able to finish it. Although I was kind of tired in the morning, it was on pretty late. I was blown away. I was not expecting it to be a very good show. But it actually was. Now, I did miss the pre-show with the Cruiserweight title match and anything else that happened on there. I'm not sure. So I can't really comment on that. So, the first match was Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. Now, I was not excited. Most of this stuff I was not excited for or didn't expect much. This one, I don't know. It seems like we've seen them wrestle 100 times. Maybe they haven't. To me, they're both kind of like, where are they going to go from here? I was really surprised Bray Wyatt won, and good for him, because I thought they were just going to put Rollins over so he could have a big match at SummerSlam. And the match was good. They both don't interest me. Rollins, he just seems like so cocky. He was good to me as a heel, although he did too many cool moves. I mean, they worked really well together, but this match, I was like, to myself, I was like, I should probably just do something else, but I'm glad I stuck with it and watched the rest of the pay-per-view. So the next match was Enzo and Big Cass, and I was just expecting Big Cass to squash him, and he basically did, but it was so good to see Enzo cut that big promo and say, like he's not going anywhere. I was hoping that they would have something where Enzo would at least get, like, his revenge on him for the attack, like even if Enzo got disqualified, that Enzo like maybe hit him with a weapon. Maybe I'm hoping they'll do something that on Raw where Enzo like attacks him. But they did the job very good. They transitioned Enzo into a single star, although I think he'd be better as a tag team with Cuba. More on that tomorrow. Anyway, and they made Big Cass look really strong. And I don't think the feud's gonna be over. It can't just be over like that. I hope not anyway. Hope they're not just gonna he's a stepping stone. I mean, eventually, I just hope that it goes another match or two. But I felt it wasn't boring, and it didn't go too long. And I liked the promo he cut at the beginning. And then it was a tag team Iron Man match. Now, I was really excited for this, but also watching the Hardys work recently, they don't look like they can do what they used to be able to do. And yeah, they're getting a little bit long in the tooth, and they've had some bumps and bruises in their days. But I felt it was such a good, classic tag team match. Like, it was just, they wrestled it like people in the past would. And I was surprised on a lot of things. For one point, I thought it was going to be like 5-0 Sheamus and Cesaro, and then it would lead to the Hardys breaking up. And that didn't happen, and they came back, and it was a good finish. It made it so, like, instead of being bored, like, well, let's hurry up and finish, it was almost like you were like, no, don't end, don't. And like the timing was really good, and like some of the stuff, like, wasn't sloppy. I wouldn't say that. It was just like, I don't know, the Hardy, like especially Matt, he can't hit very good anymore. Like he can only do so much. You can see just the way he walks and everything. But whatever they did do was very good, and to pull that match off, they won't be able to have a match that good ever again. That is like the crowning achievement for the Hardys. And hats off to Sheamus and Cesaro to be able to like pace it out that good to make them last half an hour. Just really well done, and I really enjoy it. The half an hour flew by for me. And then, so what was it? Then it was the women's match. Now, I have to admit, I haven't seen Alexa Bliss have any matches that really stood out to me. I know Sasha is really good, but I just didn't think they would have chemistry. And once again, I was very surprised. I really liked the match. I felt like they had a good showing, and that was my wow for Alexa Bliss, that she really could work really good, and not only can she do all the moves really good, she's got like she's good at like playing her character the whole time, and I liked how they did everything and the finish and whatnot, and it was very enjoyable. It was a really good women's match. It's nice that it wasn't Charlotte or Bayley or Sasha for once, or Becky. Like, it was somebody else, and Alexa really does deserve that title. She proved to me that she's a really good wrestler, and that was the first time I thought I didn't say that before. I just basically thought she was getting there because of her looks or whatnot. But no, she was very good. Then it was the Intercontinental Championship match. I didn't want to see it. Like, we've seen Dean Ambrose and The Miz, and to me it's like it's gone on long enough, and now they have the whole entourage. It was just very predictable, but they do work really well together, and I just, like, what are they going to do with Ambrose now? He's had his world title runs, he's had his Intercontinental. Like, what else could they possibly do unless maybe they make him into a tag team? Or maybe he turns heel? Like, there's not much left for him to do. But the match was okay, it was nothing bad, but it didn't really stick out to me, and I was just, by this point, I just wanted to see Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. And then, of course, we had the ambulance match, and, I mean, I think Braun Strowman's going to be a huge face. I mean, I know he's a face against Roman, but a lot of people are. But, like, is he not going to be the one to fight Goldberg or Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? He better be. He should have the belt, really. I know hasn't been working that long, but what he does is really good, and he looks the part, and he acts the part, but he doesn't look green to me. Like, he should just have the belt and just run the Fed for like 2 years and not get beaten. Be the unstoppable monster that no one can beat and bring credibility back to the title. But the match was pretty good. Like, I felt they paced it good, and I don't usually like to see big guy matches, but they did very well. So even though I was hoping for Lesnar, and it was getting late too, like, I didn't start it till like 10:30 at night, so I mean, it was like 1:30 when I was done. So then, Brock versus Samoa Joe, I thought there was no chance in heck that Samoa Joe would win, but I felt like they made it credible. The only thing I really didn't like was the ending, how he just hit it out of nowhere and he hadn't really done anything other than a couple of suplexes to him. I wish he would have kicked out of it and then hit it again. That's my only, I mean, I don't like to complain, I like to be positive, but I liked how they, for once, made Brock Lesnar, like, kind of like the baby face fighting from underneath, and it made Joe look really credible, and it sucks that he had to lose, but it makes sense. Who are they going to market as champion for SummerSlam? Brock Lesnar is the one you want on the bill, so it makes sense, but I mean, good for them for, like, at least not letting Samoa Joe get squashed out there, like, letting him have a really good showing. So all in all, great balls of fire. I would rate it 4 balls of fire out of 5. I was really impressed. I forgot that it was even on. Like, I was really looking forward to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and then after that, it's like, what am I looking forward to? Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania? And I hadn't been watching Raw because I just moved, so I didn't have internet, so I wasn't, like, up to date on what all the stories were, but I knew Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, so I was like, I'll just check it out. And I ended up getting really into it and really enjoying it, and just being a fan and not picking it apart too much. So that's it. Great Balls of Fire was great, and had balls and lots of fire. So anyway, remember, on the W.I.L.L.I.W show, like, or you get a leg drop, comment, or you get a clothesline, subscribe, or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!